Lucas Hayden lay on the cool grass of his backyard, the night sky a canopy of stars above him. His telescope stood nearby, aimed at the distant constellations he'd been studying for years. Tonight, however, something unusual caught his eye. A faint, pulsating light emanated from the dense forest bordering his home. He frowned, curiosity piqued. "What's that?" he murmured, adjusting the telescope to focus on the source. The light flickered like a beacon, inviting and mysterious. Unable to resist, Lucas grabbed his flashlight and headed into the woods. As he ventured deeper, the trees closed around him, their shadows dancing eerily in the beam of his flashlight. The light grew stronger, guiding him like a celestial compass. His heart pounded with a mix of excitement and trepidation. Suddenly, the light dimmed, and Lucas found himself in a small clearing. Standing at the center was a figure, partly obscured by the darkness. The figure stepped forward, revealing a girl about his age, with striking silver hair and eyes that glowed faintly in the dim light. She held a glowing orb, the source of the pulsating light. "You aren't supposed to be here," she whispered, her voice soft yet commanding. Lucas took a cautious step back. "Neither are you," he replied, trying to keep his voice steady. "Who are you?" "My name is Alara," she said, her eyes studying him intently. I'm not from around here." "No kidding," Lucas muttered, eyeing the orb she held. "What is that?" "It's complicated," Alara said, glancing at the orb. "Let's just say it helps me understand your world better." Lucas's curiosity overpowered his caution. "You're from another planet, aren't you?" Alara nodded, a faint smile playing on her lips. "Yes, I came here to learn about your people." Lucas couldn't believe his ears. An actual alien, standing right in front of him. His mind raced with questions, but he settled on the most pressing one. "Why me? Why reveal yourself to me?" Alara hesitated, then sighed. "I sensed something different about you. A kindred spirit, perhaps. You're curious, like me." Lucas felt a strange connection to Alara. Despite the surreal situation, he trusted her. "Come with me," he said. "You can stay at my place. My parents won't mind." Alara looked uncertain. "Is it safe?" Lucas nodded. "I'll make sure of it." They made their way back to his house, Alara moving with a grace that seemed almost ethereal. As they approached the edge of the forest, Lucas turned to her. "If anyone discovers you're here, we could both be in danger," he warned. "I know," Alara replied, her expression serious. "But I have to take that risk." Inside the house, Lucas introduced Alara to his parents, who were naturally surprised but welcoming. "This is Alara," Lucas explained. "She's a foreign exchange student. She needs a place to stay for a while." His parents exchanged glances, but agreed, charmed by Alara's polite demeanor and intrigued by her unique appearance, which Lucas attributed to her exotic origin. Over the next few days, Alara settled in, blending into human society with remarkable ease. Lucas and Alara spent hours talking about their worlds. She marveled at the simplicity and beauty of human life, while Lucas was fascinated by her tales of Elysia, a world of crystalline cities and bioluminescent forests. One evening, as they sat in Lucas's room, he asked, "Why did you come here, really?" Alara sighed, looking out the window. "My people, the Elysians, are curious but cautious. We've watched your world for a long time, but we've never made contact. I wanted to see for myself what humans are like." Lucas nodded, understanding her need to explore. "And what do you think of us so far?" Alara smiled. "You're different from us. More emotional, more impulsive, but there's a beauty in that. A resilience." Their conversation was interrupted by a soft knock on the door. Lucas's mother peeked in. "Dinner's ready, you two?" As they headed downstairs, Alara felt a pang of worry. She had sensed something strange earlier, a presence, watching them. She decided not to mention it to Lucas yet, not wanting to alarm him. The next day, at school, Alara quickly adapted, her intelligence and quick wit helping her navigate human customs. Lucas's friends were curious about the new exchange student, and Alara's unique perspective intrigued them. During a lunch break, Lucas and Alara sat under a tree, discussing their next steps. "We need to find out more about the ancient connection between our worlds," Alara said, her voice low. I found a map in an old library book. It points to a hidden location that might hold answers. Lucas leaned in, excitement in his eyes. Then let's go find it. We can take Professor Hargrove with us. He specializes in ancient civilizations and has always believed in extraterrestrial life. Alara nodded. We have to be careful. If the Elysians discover I'm here, they'll try to take me back. And there are others who might not be as friendly. Lucas squeezed her hand reassuringly. We'll find the answers together. As they walked back to class, Alara couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. She glanced around, her eyes scanning the crowd, but saw nothing out of the ordinary. Still, the sense of impending danger lingered, like a storm on the horizon. That night, as Lucas lay in bed, he couldn't sleep. His mind raced with thoughts of Alara, the mysterious map, and the adventure that awaited them. He knew their journey would be dangerous, but the chance to uncover the secrets of their shared past was too enticing to resist. Alara stood in the kitchen, marveling at the warmth and simplicity of Lucas's home. The scent of freshly brewed coffee mingled with the faint aroma of pancakes. Lucas's mother, a kind woman with a perpetual smile, flipped pancakes while his father read the morning paper at the table. Alara, would you like some pancakes? Mrs. Hayden asked, her voice inviting. Alara nodded, her curiosity piqued by the unfamiliar food. Yes, please. They smell wonderful. Lucas watched as Alara tentatively took a bite of her pancake, her eyes widening with delight. This is delicious, she said, a genuine smile spreading across her face. As they ate, Lucas's father, Mr. Hayden, glanced up from his newspaper. So, Alara, where exactly are you from? Alara paused, choosing her words carefully. I'm from a place very different from here. It's far away, but I'm excited to learn about your world. Lucas interjected, steering the conversation. Alara's here to study and experience Earth. She's incredibly smart and has a lot to share with us. Mr. Hayden nodded, satisfied with the explanation. Well, we're happy to have you here. Make yourself at home. After breakfast, Lucas and Alara walked to school together. The morning air was crisp, and the streets were buzzing with life. Lucas explained the school routines, pointing out various buildings and introducing her to classmates along the way. Alara's advanced Elysian technology, which allowed her to blend in seamlessly, intrigued everyone. In class, Alara's quick grasp of human subjects impressed both teachers and students. Her insights into science and technology were particularly captivating. During a physics lesson, the teacher, Mr. Thompson, asked a complex question about the principles of electromagnetism. Alara raised her hand. Electromagnetic fields can be manipulated to create energy barriers. By understanding the flow of electrons and their interaction with magnetic fields, we can harness incredible power. Mr. Thompson's eyebrows shot up in surprise. That's a fascinating perspective, Alara. Where did you learn that? She smiled softly. Back home, we study these concepts extensively. As the day progressed, Alara and Lucas's bond grew stronger. They shared stories, laughed at inside jokes, and explored their mutual curiosity about each other's worlds. In the school library, Alara marveled at the vast collection of books. These books hold so much knowledge, she said, running her fingers along the spines. I want to learn everything about your history and culture. Lucas grinned. I have a feeling you'll fit right in. Meanwhile, in a remote part of town, Varric arrived with his team of enforcers. They set up a covert base using advanced surveillance equipment to track Alara's movements. Varric's eyes narrowed as he studied the data. We must find her before she reveals too much. Alara, aware of the looming threat, confided in Lucas during their walk home. Varric is here. I can feel it. We have to be careful. Lucas nodded, his expression serious. We'll figure this out together. You're not alone. That evening, they gathered in Lucas's room, brainstorming ways to evade Varric's detection. Alara used a small device to scan the area, ensuring they weren't being watched. We need to find a way to stay ahead of him, Lucas said, pacing. Maybe Professor Hargrove can help. He's always been a bit unconventional. Alara agreed. His knowledge might be exactly what we need. The next day, they visited Professor Hargrove, who lived in a large, cluttered house filled with books, gadgets, and strange contraptions. The professor welcomed them warmly, his eyes twinkling with curiosity. "Lucas, it's good to see you. And you must be Elora, the exchange student. What brings you here?" Elora took a deep breath and explained her situation, careful to reveal only what was necessary. "I'm from a distant place, and I'm being pursued by someone who wants to take me back. We need your help to stay hidden." Professor Hargrove listened intently, his expression serious. "This is extraordinary. If what you say is true, then you are indeed in danger. But fear not, I have ways to help you stay off their radar." He showed them an array of devices designed to block surveillance and disrupt tracking signals. Lucas and Elora marveled at the professor's ingenuity and resourcefulness. "These should help," Hargrove said, handing Elora a small, spherical device. "It's a cloaking device. It will make you invisible to most forms of detection." Elora's eyes lit up with gratitude. "Thank you, Professor. This means so much." As they left the professor's house, Lucas and Elora felt a renewed sense of hope. They were better equipped to handle the threat Varric posed and had a trusted ally in Professor Hargrove. That night, as Elora lay in bed, she reflected on her experiences. Despite the danger, she felt a sense of belonging she had never known. The warmth of Lucas's family, the camaraderie of school, and the excitement of learning about Earth filled her with a sense of purpose. In the shadows, Varric's search intensified. His enforcers scoured the town, their presence growing more menacing by the day. Elora knew they had to act swiftly and decisively to stay ahead. The forest was dense, each step forward feeling like an adventure into the unknown. Lucas led the way, the ancient map clutched tightly in his hand. Beside him, Elora's eyes darted around, her senses heightened by the unfamiliar surroundings. Professor Hargrove followed closely, his mind racing with the possibilities that lay ahead. "We must be close," Lucas said, glancing back at his companions. The sun was setting, casting long shadows through the trees. The air was thick with anticipation. "Stay alert," Elora warned. Varric's enforcers could be anywhere. The trio pressed on, navigating the rugged terrain with determination. The forest gradually thinned out, revealing a rocky hillside. Lucas paused, studying the map. "This is it," he announced, pointing to a narrow opening partially concealed by overgrown vines. Elora approached the entrance, her fingers brushing against the cool stone. "This cave holds secrets that could change everything," she murmured. Inside, the cave was dimly lit, the air cool and damp. Lucas turned on his flashlight, the beam cutting through the darkness. Ancient symbols adorned the walls, their meanings lost to time. "Incredible," Professor Hargrove whispered, his eyes wide with awe. Deeper they ventured, the tunnel opening up into a vast chamber. The walls glowed faintly, illuminated by bioluminescent crystals embedded in the rock. At the center stood a massive crystalline structure, humming with a faint energy. Elora's breath caught in her throat. "This is it," she said, approaching the structure. "The heart of our shared history." Lucas joined her, his flashlight revealing intricate carvings and inscriptions. "These symbols. They look like a star map," he observed. Professor Hargrove pulled out his notebook, feverishly sketching the symbols. "This confirms the theory of a common ancestry," he said. "We were right all along." As they explored, Elora found a hidden panel on the crystalline structure. With a gentle push, it revealed a holographic projection. Star maps and historical records sprang to life, floating in the air around them. "This technology. It's beyond anything we've ever seen," Lucas said, marveling at the display. Elora's eyes shone with excitement. "This proves that humans and Elysians are connected," she said. "Our ancestors seeded life across the galaxy, including on Earth." The revelation was profound, a discovery that could reshape their understanding of both civilizations. "We need to share this with the world," Professor Hargrove said, his voice filled with determination. Their moment of triumph was short-lived. A low rumble echoed through the cave, followed by the unmistakable sound of footsteps. Elora's expression turned serious. "Varric," she whispered. Lucas extinguished his flashlight, plunging them into near darkness. They moved quickly, seeking cover behind the crystalline structure. The footsteps grew louder, accompanied by the metallic clink of weapons. Alora peered around the edge of the structure, spotting Varric and his enforcers entering the chamber. "We can't let them take this," she said, her voice tense. Lucas nodded, his heart pounding. "What's the plan?" Alora's eyes scanned the room, settling on a narrow passageway on the far side. "We need to get to that passage," she said. "It might lead to another exit." Professor Hargrove hesitated. "What about the artifacts?" "We can't protect them if we're captured," Alora replied. "We'll come back for them." With careful, deliberate movements, they began to inch towards the passage. Varric's voice echoed through the chamber, issuing commands to his enforcers. "Find them and secure the artifacts." As they neared the passage, an enforcer's flashlight beam swept over their hiding spot. "There!" the enforcer shouted. "Run!" Alora urged, breaking into a sprint. Lucas and Professor Hargrove followed, their footsteps echoing through the tunnel. The passage was narrow and winding, the walls closing in around them. Lucas could hear the enforcers in pursuit, their shouts growing closer. "We need to lose them," he said, his breath coming in ragged gasps. Alora glanced back, her eyes narrowing in determination. "This way," she said, taking a sharp turn into a smaller, hidden tunnel. The walls glowed faintly, guiding their path. The tunnel led them to a secondary chamber, smaller and more intimate. At the center stood another crystalline structure, this one smaller but emanating a stronger energy. "It's a secondary archive," Alora said, her voice filled with wonder. Lucas looked around, spotting an exit on the other side. "We can use this to our advantage," he said. "We'll hide here and ambush them." They took positions around the chamber, readying themselves for the confrontation. Moments later, Varric and his enforcers burst in, their weapons drawn. "There's no escape, Alora," Varric declared, his voice cold. Alora stepped forward, her eyes locked on Varric. "You're wrong," she said, her voice steady. "There is always hope." A tense standoff ensued, the air thick with anticipation. Lucas and Professor Hargrove remained hidden, ready to strike. Just as Varric moved closer, Alora activated the crystalline structure. A blinding light filled the chamber, momentarily disorienting the enforcers. "Now!" Lucas shouted, leaping from his hiding spot. He tackled an enforcer, wresting the weapon from his grasp. Professor Hargrove followed suit, using the element of surprise to their advantage. Alora engaged Varric, their movements swift and precise. The crystalline structure's light pulsed with energy, creating an otherworldly backdrop to their battle. Varric's cold determination met Alora's fierce resolve, each strike echoing with the weight of their convictions. In a final desperate move, Alora managed to disarm Varric, sending his weapon clattering across the floor. "It's over, Varric," she said, her voice unwavering. Varric stared at her, a mix of anger and realization in his eyes. "This isn't the end," he said, his voice low. Alora didn't flinch. "No, it's just the beginning." With Varric subdued, they quickly gathered the most crucial artifacts and made their way to the exit. The cave's secrets were safe for now, but the journey ahead was uncertain. As they emerged into the night, Lucas looked at Alora, hope and determination mirrored in their eyes. "We have a chance to change everything," he said. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows over the hidden cave's entrance. Lucas, Alora, and their allies gathered inside, their faces illuminated by the soft glow of the ancient Elysian artifacts. The air was thick with anticipation as they prepared for the impending assault. "We have to protect this knowledge," Alora said, her voice steady yet resolute. "It holds the key to our shared future." Professor Hargrove nodded, his eyes reflecting both wisdom and determination. "We'll use every resource we have. This technology can level the playing field." Lucas, adjusting the makeshift barricades, felt a surge of pride and fear. "We can do this," he said, looking at Alora, "together." Suddenly, the ground trembled as Varric's enforcers approached. The sound of advanced weaponry echoed through the forest, a stark reminder of the formidable force they faced. The group took their positions, each one acutely aware of the stakes. Varric's voice boomed from outside. "Surrender now, and we will spare you. Resist, and you face annihilation. Alara's eyes met Lucas's. "We won't give up," she whispered, her resolve unshakable. The first wave of attackers breached the outer defenses. Lucas, armed with a newly discovered energy weapon, took aim and fired, the beam of light striking true. Alara moved with agility, her combat training evident as she disarmed an enforcer and used his own weapon against him. The battle intensified. Professor Hargrove provided tactical support, his quick thinking and knowledge of both human and Elysian technology giving them an edge. "Lucas, cover the left flank," he shouted. "Alara, the right." Amid the chaos, Lucas stumbled upon a concealed vault deeper within the cave. Its door, inscribed with intricate symbols, beckoned to him. "Alara, over here," he called. She joined him, quickly deciphering the ancient script. With a sequence of precise movements, the vault opened, revealing advanced Elysian devices. Lucas's eyes widened at the sight of portable energy shields and sophisticated communication arrays. "These could turn the tide," Lucas said, handing an energy shield to Alara. Reinforced with new technology, they rejoined the fray. The shields deflected incoming fire, allowing them to push forward. The tide of battle began to shift in their favor. Varric, observing the unexpected resistance, pushed through the melee. His presence was commanding, his intent clear. He locked eyes with Alara, a mix of anger and respect evident. "You're persistent," Varric said, his voice low and dangerous. "But this ends now." Alara stood her ground. "You're wrong, Varric. This is only the beginning. We can change everything if we work together." Their confrontation was fierce, a dance of agility and strength. Alara's training was matched by Varric's experience, each move countered with precision. Lucas and Hargrove fought to keep the enforcers at bay, their efforts crucial in holding the line. In a critical moment, Alara managed to disarm Varric, her quick reflexes and strategic thinking proving superior. She held his weapon at him, breathing heavily but resolute. "It's over, Varric. We don't have to be enemies." Varric's eyes narrowed, but there was a flicker of understanding. "You truly believe we can unite?" "I do," Alara replied, her voice unwavering. "We share a history, a destiny. Let's build a future together." The silence that followed was heavy with the weight of possibility. Slowly, Varric lowered his guard, a reluctant respect in his gaze. "Very well. A ceasefire." As the enforcers withdrew, Lucas felt a wave of relief. The immediate threat had passed, but their journey was far from over. The ancient artifacts and the knowledge they contained would require careful stewardship. Later, as they regrouped inside the cave, Alara addressed the team. "We did it, but this is just the beginning. We must take this knowledge back to Elysia and ensure our leaders understand the potential for unity." Lucas felt a pang of sadness at the thought of Alara leaving. "Will you come back?" he asked, his voice tinged with hope. Alara smiled, her eyes softening. "I promise. There's so much we can learn from each other." "This isn't goodbye, Lucas. It's a new chapter." The following morning, under a sky painted with the colors of dawn, Alara prepared to depart. Lucas, Professor Hargrove, and their friends gathered to see her off. "Thank you for everything," Alara said, her voice filled with gratitude. "I'll make sure our leaders hear about the bravery and wisdom I found here." Lucas hugged her tightly. "We'll be here, ready to welcome you back." As Alara's ship ascended, Lucas watched, a mix of emotions swirling within him. Hope, anticipation, and a sense of purpose filled his heart. They had faced incredible odds and emerged victorious, but the true journey was just beginning.